Club Room Backstage. Anja Schneider is talking to Anna, award-winning DJ and producer from Brazil.
Since I was a girl, I have this thing with energy. We connect with soul, with spirit. But since 2017, I got deep into it. And it is a big part of my life. I think even bigger than my career.
Welcome to a new episode of the Club Room Backstage. Hello, my name is Anja Schneider and I had a deep talk with one of the most charismatic, energetic person in the industry. I had a talk with the most lovely DJ Anna from Brazil, living in Barcelona. Hello Anna, it's so nice to have you here. Hello, how are you?
I am good, and you? Nice to talk to you. We don't meet much.
No, the last time were definitely better times. You remember it was somewhere on a festival in south of Germany or something.
Yeah, we shared a ride.
Yes.
Nice conversation, yes.
Where I got you? Where are you now? In your studio, where?
I am in Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in my studio here.
And how is the lockdown for you? What are you doing?
I am handling pretty well. Well, as you know, all the gigs were canceled.
Mm-hmm.
This year was going to be a big year with big festivals that I always wanted to play, and everything was canceled. But I am looking into it in a way that as a warning, let's say like this.
Yeah, it's a nice perspective.
So I'm enjoying because I have another thing apart from DJing. I study energy healing and shamanic medicine. So I have this meditation practice that is helping me a lot.
Okay, but how you get into this, especially this healing thing?
Since I was a girl, I have this thing with energy. We connect with soul, with spirit. But since 2017, I got deep into it. Mm. And it is a big part of my life. I think even bigger than my career.
Wow.
I dedicated a lot of time to it, to learn, to do retreats. And I meditate 2-3 hours a day.
Wow.
And now I am doing this course to actually, not to work with this, but to have the knowledge.
Wow.
So in the lockdown, I went deep into the studies I'm doing sessions in another people. Of course, I'm not charging anything, but I am already doing sessions on people remotely because you can do this work remotely. Mm-hmm. So I'm handling pretty well.
Well, this is interesting. Even you can do music for this, or is there music in? I've never been, I have to say. My meditation is different. I'm running. So this is for me the thing to get away of this. But are you using music, or is this something what inspire you to do music for the sessions maybe?
I always wanted to do another project, but I was touring so much and I didn't have time. But now, since I'm 2 months at home, I saw that this is a calling of my soul. So I'm gonna, when we come back to touring, I'm gonna take, I think, 1 week off a month, so I can dedicate myself to this project. Because I wanna do a project, a part of techno, to do this healing music, meditation music. And I'm studying more the frequencies, the chakra related to frequencies, to the notes, so I can incorporate healing with music and also hands-on healing with the energy.
Wow, yeah.
So this lockdown brought me good things also.
Wow, this is super interesting.
I lost a lot, but I also am discovering a lot about myself, and there is a new project coming out with this. So
yeah, this is interesting. It's good somehow. And especially, I don't know how you just explained, because during this lockdown, it's for us maybe a new time to get new creativity out. So especially you found this. And but I heard also from other colleagues, because everyone said, oh, you can spend now times in the studio. But for some colleagues of mine and you, they said, I can't because it's so depressing for them. I don't know how you handle this. Are you creative beside of this healing and meditation stuff? Are you a lot of times in the studio now?
But I'm not finding it difficult to be creative. I'm playing a lot actually at home with the vinyls. I'm just enjoying doing for enjoy. But I don't think it affected creativity. No.
Okay.
But I'm not in the studio as much. But I don't think it affected. I think I'm gonna coming back now after the 2 months. We're starting to. Because, but why do you say because of the worry of the moment? You say the creativity. Is not-
Yeah, for some people, it's they're falling in kind of like a hole, you know, when they were traveling since 20 years and suddenly the whole lifestyle is changing.
Yeah.
And especially you have to sit down and you have to think about yourself. You know, this is for some people challenging because you always have so many things to do. And now you have family and you have to think about yourself, and this is not easy for some, and then they're kind of, what I heard, in a kind of a black hole. So but it's good that you are not, and that you're still enjoying vinyls and playing.
I think the practice of meditation and going like deep into myself before everything happened is helping me now. But I think now it is the time of, because it is uncertain when we are going to come back to play again, when we are going to be able to gather again, and when we come back to it, how many people, like the fees will be different, the world will be different for a while. So we will have to adapt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will have to adapt and find new ways maybe to make money. And now it's time for the creativity to flourish, because we will have to adapt. And it is scary, but in the end it's gonna be good, I think, because it's gonna, I know we're gonna train ourselves to evolve and to be more creative, to adapt, but it's scary, yes.
For someone who don't know you so well, it looks, first of all, it can look like, okay, it's not so hard because she's traveling. She's not in the DJing so long. But as I read and as I found out, you are DJing since you were 14 years old. Is this true? Yeah.
Yes, I am a DJ. I never worked with anything else in my life.
Wow, amazing.
Yes, yeah, I started to play when I was 14. My father, he had a club in my hometown, and was a countryside of São Paulo. It's a countryside city, 50,000 people, and he had a club there.
Wow.
And then I started to play. When I was allowed to go to the club, I started to play Brazilian music. I started to play with CDJs, that old 100 CDJ 100. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
But then there was there was 5 floors in the club, and one of the floors they used to play underground music, house music, drum and bass, techno. And then I escaped a little bit from my floor to go there because I wanted to see the DJs. And then I saw them playing with vinyl and mixing. And then I started to practice at home because my father, he was a DJ and he had turntables, but he never taught me anything. And then I started to practice myself, to experiment with his vinyls. And then I changed it to electronic music, underground music, playing with vinyl. I started playing electronic and underground electronic music, and I didn't stop anymore. I started to play like professionally and never stopped.
Wow.
Yeah. Most of my career was not low, but I making a little money, playing like small parties, but I never had to change to have another job.
But did you was nervous before from the first time, or it was just feeling natural to play in front of? I mean, especially with 14 years, I was like the most shy girl on earth.
It's so crazy because I always felt comfortable. And even when my first gig when I was 14, it was like I told you, Brazilian music. And I think some years ago, 3 years ago, we were talking with my father. We did like a mix mag thing, and they traveled to my countryside and my city in the countryside, and we talked with my father. And he told me when because he told me to play first time because I was complaining about the DJ, and he told me go there and try to do it yourself. And he told me after 1 week I had my whole playlist done. And I was playing for 1,000 people, like how always, yes. I think, and I remember because I never felt nervous.
Wow. And I remember when I was 14, I was a kind of a rebellion. I wanted to do especially the opposite what my parents were doing, you know. But you never had this feeling that you want to be different? No.
No, never. I never thought about being a DJ, but when my father like told me to try it, and I tried, I loved it. So I also never had to look for another thing to do, and I loved it. I put all that I had into it. I was practicing and researching music, and then I started playing with vinyl. I was practicing at 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Every day, like I was loving it. So I never had to find another job. And now, after so many years doing this meditation and healing thing is coming to my life. But until then, it was like my whole life just doing this and like trying to be better and to grow.
Wow, this is really good. But how you get your music? Because you were saying you were grown up in a city which was 80 kilometers from Sao Paulo. But how you get during this time the music? Because it was still vinyl and it was just the beginning with the CDs.
Yes, it was still vinyl. And I remember when I started, I just got a computer. So I didn't know anything about, because everything we knew before, it was coming from the local DJs. And I was lucky because I had really good references. Renato Cohen, DJ Mark, and a really good Brazilian DJs. They were amazing at mixing, and they were amazing at like bringing new music. So in the beginning, it was all I had, it was the DJs, the local DJs. And I used to travel to São Paulo to listen to them. And I used to travel 3 hours, and I listened to some music and coming back, went back to my city by bus. And I used to do this. But then I got, my father gave me a computer, and then I started researching. And I remember I used to spend hours at Dex and Music Head, like vinyl shops, like researching music. And I had to travel to São Paulo to buy records. And I didn't have money, so I had to travel 6 hours to buy 3 vinyls. So I was doing like this, but it was fun. I was not like...
Wow. Yeah, this was definitely difficult. But all the other stuff with your parents and the background sounds like a paradise, because most of the parents here in Europe or Germany, they want that the kids learn something really real, being like a real estate or like working in a bank, but not going into the DJing or music business. So my parents, they were super shocked. So this sounded for me like a paradise, that your parents even pushing you there.
Yeah.
But are you chatting quite often with your dad still about music?
Not much. It's funny because when I was 10 years old, I remember around 10, my father used to DJ. So sometimes he let me go into the club and see he DJing a little bit. And then we used to go together to São Paulo to record shopping. So he used to go in the 4 record shop there was at the time, and he used to listen to vinyls all day. And I used to go with him because after that we used to go to the shopping center. So this is part of my life since I was a girl. So it's normal for me. But I understand if you're not in the thing. But the thing is, we never discussed much about music. He never taught me how to play.
But he's really proud, I guess.
Yeah, he's proud. He's super proud. He went to Time War last year. Yeah, he was shocked.
And I think you really impressed him with your DJ skills. Probably you were much better than your dad back in the time, because technology is different.
I heard the tape of him, and he doesn't know how to mix much. But he's super proud.
This is wonderful. But how you get then into production? You bought your first computer, or your dad had one, and then you discovered this really fast, or?
The production came a little bit, no, much time after, maybe like after 6 years. I used to have Fruit Loops in the beginning in my computer, but I never went deep into it. But then I met my boyfriend, Weba, and he's a master of production. And he still helps me until today. And he gave me my first Ableton Live as a gift in 2008. Yes. And then I went to Czech Republic to live with him. He was working there in the studio. And we stayed in Czech Republic for 1 year.
Wow.
And there he gave me an Ableton as a gift. And I used to practice the whole day. He teach me some technique, and then when he arrived back home, he used to teach me a little bit more, and then we went to the studio together. So we are 12 years already.
Wow. But this is a good thing. I want to talk with you about this later. But why Czech Republic? Okay, you said it because he had a job there. But how was it for you? Coming from Brazil, going to Europe is a big thing. And then Czech Republic looks, first of all, not really sexy for a Brazilian. I think so.
Yes, it was weird, but
How was it?
and it was like city in Czech, really small city.
Yeah.
Also, it was it's strange, but at the same time, I never went to Europe before.
Mm-hmm.
It was like my second time. Actually, I was here once for 3 months, and then I moved to Czech Republic. So everything was new for me. So I was enjoying, being in Europe. As a Brazilian, I was being in Europe, and we used to go by train to Vienna and to Prague, and we went to Greece. So I didn't had time actually in this 1 year to be a little bit tired of it. But he was there for 4 years already, and he was absolutely tired of it and I had to come back to Brazil.
Okay, because he's Brazilian too.
Yes.
But was it for you during this time maybe better because your career was just starting to get more gigs because it was just starting 2009 with you also, I mean.
Yeah, but during the time I was in Czech Republic, I did some gigs in Czech Republic, like for 100 euros. But this time my career didn't grow much. Mm-hmm. Then I come back to Brazil. I continued the production, and then I started growing a little bit in Brazil, but then already down again in Brazil because there I fluctuated a lot in my career in these times. Mm-hmm. And then when I was in Brazil, actually the things started to happen for me in Europe, mm-hmm. through my music that I was releasing, and then I moved. But the time I was in Czech Republic, actually, for the career was not so good, but I was happy with him and traveling in Europe, so it was good.
Yeah, and then also in Brazil, when you were going back, the sound was definitely changing. It was not like this typical Anna sound in Brazil was really big. It was more this minimal.
Yes, it was always like this. And when I come back, and then there was the electro house thing.
Ah, yeah.
And in Brazil, there is a thing. Now it's a little bit better. But in Brazil, there is a thing that when something is, they have a very particular sound, especially back then. And all the clubs and all the crowds and all the promoters want to listen to the same thing. So you don't have a space to experiment mm-hmm. and to bring new things because they were not open to listen to it. Mm-hmm. And in Europe, I was doing Green Velvet was doing some remixes for me.
Yeah, 2013, huh?
Yeah. Some DJs were playing my stuff, but in Brazil, no space. And my agent at the time telling me to change my music, that my music was never gonna happen, that I was never gonna be successful. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, I don't mind what you say. I don't believe it in you.
Do you think sometimes it could happen because I sometimes have the feeling that in your own country you will be never respected than like abroad, and maybe it was also because you were Brazilian and the Brazilian were first of all a little bit more reserved and not pushing or supporting their own people. Sometimes it's like this, unfortunately.
Yeah, I heard a lot of this, not just in Brazil, but local DJs always complain that they don't get their value, while they are in their country. But Brazil is not actually so much like this because the biggest DJs in Brazil are Brazilian. But the thing is, the kind of music, they want to listen to that kind of music and they were not open to listen to new things. And now, yes. But then I came to Europe and I made a name for myself in Europe. And then they started to pay attention.
But how is it when you go back to Brazil now when you play? Because you're saying the biggest Brazilian DJs are Brazilian. And for me, you are the biggest Brazilian DJ, like successful-wise. And
I think I have my space now as the underground DJ, but there was more commercial DJs like Alok. He's super big. But he's more commercial, but he's a DJ. Mm-hmm. But when I come back now it's big. Now I have the space to do what I want. If I want to present new things, they are pleased to listen to it. They want different things. I think now the market is more open than when I left. Mm-hmm. Now that month I was doing things there, digital, Tomorrowland did so. Now there's more space. Now there was more openness for people to listen to it.
Mm-hmm. And I read that you've never been nervous, but now when I listen to you, I can imagine when you come back to Brazil, it could be a little bit like to be nervous to play for their own people. Huh? How is it? Are you? No,
I love it. I love it. And then Brazil, there is a thing in Brazil that they are super warm-hearted, and they support you and they love you. But when you make your space, they're super receptive, and it's like Argentina. Did you play there already? And they dance and they attend to their part, and they're passionate and they scream. It's a super nice crowd to play.
Yeah, and when you compare it to Germany, there's definitely a difference when you see it in the crowd beside of Argentina. And but you also said that there were some agents and some people during this time they're saying to you, "Oh, you have to change your sound." Was this an option for you? Did you ever had a thought about this, to change your sound?
No, because I don't think I would be good DJ if I did that, because I was playing because of the music. Like when I'm playing the music that I enjoy and that I believe, then I create the energy, the right energy to pass to the crowd, and then that's how things work. If I'm gonna play something that I don't like just for the money or to have more gigs, I think the energy would be so low, because I was doing this for money and I wouldn't enjoy. I couldn't put my passion into it. So it was never an option.
Yeah.
I used to go to the agency and say, "Hi guys, what we can do to have a little bit more gigs, because I'm needing money, because I was playing like once a month." And they change your sound. Your sound doesn't work. I said, no, that's not an option. I prefer to change career than change my sound. You know?
I really admire you for this. This is wonderful. But how important is for you at the gigs? How much inspiration you're going to take out of the gigs? Because you're talking about energy systems going there. I mean, we can all feel the energy. How important is this for you? Do you take this home back to the studio? Because your productions are full of energy, and it's, for me, something what is absolutely 100% for the dance floor. And I have directly a picture on this. So how important is this for you to get this energy home to the studio?
It's super important. I think what I like the most in my career is to be with the crowd, is to have the exchange of energy. And when it's just me giving the energy, or just the crowd, and I'm not into it, it doesn't. There is no magic. The thing is the exchanging of energy, and I like to please the crowd. Like, I don't want to be there just playing my stuff. If the crowd is not enjoying what I'm playing, I try to adapt. How do I say, into what I play. Like, I can adapt into my sound. But if I'm playing certain things and the crowd's not liking, I am gonna adapt. And when I'm in the studio, I'm playing. I am thinking about them. Maybe I want to make them trippy with this kind of sound. I want to make them happy, make them more emotional. So I'm always thinking about the crowd and how the music is going to affect the energy in the room. Because I think I'm doing the music for them, especially the dance music, the underground music. I'm doing to play for them. I'm not doing this for myself.
Oh, I love this. So nice to hear.
Yeah. If I'm doing a meditation track or experimenting in the studio just to myself is another thing. But the records I do for techno, I do for them. So I always think about them in the studio, not just about myself or about being cool or what like certain websites are gonna like. No, I think about the crowd.
This is wonderful. And finally, you moved to Barcelona, where I got you now since I think 2015. Why you choose Barcelona and not Berlin?
Yes. Since I visit Barcelona for the first time, I said, "Oh my God, that's the most beautiful city in the world." And here is super good for traveling. It's super easy. And the weather is good. The language is similar to Portuguese. And the people here are very similar to Brazil. So I feel home. I don't feel a gringo here.
Yeah, this was my question. Are you homesick sometimes? You know, Brazil is really far away.
No, I'm never homesick. I love here. I feel home here. And it's one direct flight to Brazil. So
wow, but of course everything changed. Not only your home, also suddenly your career was exploding. Did you feel personal the hype around you? Did you recognize it?
Yeah,
it's hard to
not
say.
that much, but I'm playing at the festival that I've never imagined that I was going to play. Because when I moved to Europe in 2015, June of 2015, I think I moved to Europe. And I didn't know if I was gonna make it here, if I was gonna have enough gigs to support myself here. And then it was like a how to say, a bet. I don't know how to a bet. It was a bet. Yeah, my even my manager, she was afraid. I don't know if we're gonna have enough gigs. But then I moved to Barcelona and said, okay, I'm gonna go. I moved and things start happening.
Wow, this is But are you afraid sometimes about this? Are you afraid? Because it's getting more and higher, especially after your unbelievable work for productions, for Nova Mute, then Forever Ravers. Everything changed, of course, now.
I am not afraid, but I don't wanna let it consume me. Like I don't wanna play 15 gigs a month. I don't want to, because I want to have time for myself. And when it's too much, and I don't want to have, I want to grow because I want to play in the nice festivals and I want my music to do well, but I don't want this to become too much, too much pressure of management and of agent. I don't want to let this happen. And then also during lockdown, I said, okay, no, I know like career is growing. We are doing nice stuff. But I want 1 weekend off. It doesn't matter if it's going to slow down my career. I don't mind. I need to have the time to go inside myself and to rest. It doesn't matter if I'm going to lose opportunities. No.
Yeah.
And this is important. I don't want to let the career like grow, take this and makes a mess of it. No, I want to.
Oh, this let you more shine than you already do. This things what you're saying. This is wonderful. And of course, when you are in a relationship, you mention it. You are together with DJ Weber since long time, which is not usual in our business.
Yeah.
And how is this? Is there sometimes, because he's also like an amazing producer. He helped you in the beginning. You said, how is this for a couple? I mean, how is a romantic date between Weber and you? Is this in the studio or are you doing this?
I think the fact that we do the same thing, it helped, of course, because we understand each other. Like I understand if he needs to an after party, because he needs to network and talk with other DJs and and it's difficult to people to understand that maybe you have to tour for 1 month. And I understand if he needs to tour for a month, okay, go and you tour and do your job because I know that it's going to make you happy. But if you're not into this, you don't understand the need to be in the studio or the time you need to be in the studio and to be isolated, important also. And the fact that we know what each other need helped to be together for so many years. And when we are not touring, like outside of Europe, we stay together all the time. At home, we usually travel during weekend, Thursday to Sunday, but during the week we are at home and we do everything together. And he still helps me in the studio. Wow. We mix our tracks together and he asks me for my opinion on everything and we buy equipment together. We have our studio now, it's a pretty good studio, but we bought everything together and we are building it since the Czech Republic times.
Oh, wow, this is amazing. Was there also sometimes jealousy? Because it's for some men, it's quite hard to be together with a really successful woman. They can't handle it. It's really a rare bunch of men, I think they can handle it really good. So how is it between you and him? Sorry to ask so intimate.
Well, I think he loves it. I think he loves it pretty well. Because it's so crazy, our thing, because as I told you, we are together since when we met, we were DJs already. We had our careers, but then we are together since 14 years. And like our careers like had many up and downs. And when one is a little bit better, the other is not so much, is starting to growing again. And we always support each other. And he loves it. He loves it because he always helps me. He always helps me. When I need to do some streams or some mix downs, he's always there to help me with the things, to help me set everything up. So I don't think there is a jealousy between we support each other. I don't know.
Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. This was really nice, interesting talk with you. And of course, we're all waiting for the album, which is coming.
Oh my God. Yeah, I do the album.
No, I didn't want.
Here's the album. And then I sign the tracks of the album. Yeah. And then I do the album. And I take another project.
I would love to hear some meditation music or something completely different from Anna. I would really excited about this, actually.
Yes, I'm gonna start to. I bought some instruments And I'm going to start to experiment with it. And I think I want to do like a project with meditation and like podcasts talking about healing. And because I've been studying a lot, I did some courses, and I start sharing this with people, and I'm going to introduce this through music. So I think the meditation album is going to come first, then the techno album.
Wow.
And I'm working into it now. That's my project now.
Okay. We are all waiting for this. Anna, thank you so much for your time. I hope the time is soon that we're going to see each other.
Yes.
And what is the thing where you're looking forward the most when all this is over?
I think together with the crowd again. It's so much love always, so much energy. I think that's what I want.
Anna, dankeschön. Thank you so much. This was lovely for your time.
Thank you.
But thank you so much. This was really interesting. Bye-bye. Dankeschön.
Bye.
Tschüss.
Ciao.
Thank you for listening. This was the Club Room Backstage for this episode. I will be back very soon with a deep talk, and I'm gonna have a really, really interesting person next episode. I can't tell you right now, but please stay tuned on my social channels. You will find it out there, and I can't wait to be back and talk with you. Tschüss.
Club Room Backstage.
Produced at Blackout Studios.